Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh with Meta Endurance and today we'll be doing a 300km review of the Evo SL. This shoe released in October 2024 and kind of really hit the market early this year in 2025. I think we've seen it explode completely this spring or summer. Now we see it everywhere at the moment. Having put over 300km now in this shoe at a variety of paces on a variety of terrains, I want to let you know exactly my thoughts on the Evo SL. But before diving into this review, this video is sponsored by Roadrunner Sport, a retail website out in the United States. They're kind enough to send us this shoe and they have no interest in me giving a good or bad review about the adidas Evo SL. They sell all brands, all shoes. They simply want you to choose the best shoe for yourself. They have a wonderful website where you can find many shoes, including this one in both the white and the black colorways that I have here with me today. You can browse their website. There's a link to the website in the description if you want to help us. We get a small commission if you use our affiliate link to go to Roadrunner Sport. And most of all, thank you to Roadrunner Sport for believing in us and helping out our channel to grow. And now back to the video. Just to set the scene, I'm going to give a few basic stats about the Evo SL, but if you want to hear more, make sure to check out Alex's video that he did earlier this year. I'll give a link up to the video just here, so go give that a check. The price point of the shoe is €150, $150, so it's pretty great in terms of what else is out there in the market at the moment, super competitive. The weight is 224 grams in a US men's size 9, and the stack is 39mm in the heel, 33mm in the front, giving us a 6mm drop. Now let's get into what I've been using this shoe for in my training for the last few months. I've been using this shoe predominantly as a daily trainer, so it's become that shoe which I reach for when I need a reliable and comfortable shoe to log the majority of my weekly mileage. The Evo SL excels in this category because it's plush and comfortable midsole, offering loads of protection no matter how far you end up running in this shoe. The midsole of the shoe is entirely Lightstrike Pro, which is a foam that we've seen in Adidas's race day shoes, their top of the line shoes. And I think the fact that it's 100% Lightstrike Pro is one of the main factors why the shoe is just so comfortable and so versatile in terms of how I'm able to use it in my daily sessions and training. I find myself reaching for the Evo SL whenever I want a shoe which can kind of just hit all the paces that I need to hit. One example that I could think of that I used it was when I had to do a session. It was a bit more of like a 28 to 30 minute interval session, so it had a lot of thresholds and a lot of faster paces and a lot of easy running as well, so warm up, cool down, and I just felt like the Evo SL could handle all those paces no matter what. Some shoes that you run in, it feels a bit like the shoe just can't handle easy paces or fast paces, or you might feel a bit guilty running in easy paces in it. So sometimes I might do a session in a race day shoe which is carbon plated and I feel a bit like I'm not quite getting the most out of the shoe when I'm warming up in it or cooling down in it, or I feel like I'm wasting the shoe, but I don't get that feeling at all in the Evo SL. It feels comfortable at easy paces, really comfortable at faster paces, and I could even do a race in them, maybe a half marathon, 10K, and I wouldn't feel like I was missing too much with the shoe. The Evo SL is extremely lightweight and breathable, which I think makes it really effective at being a kind of do-it-all shoe, especially during the summer months, which I've been using it for now recently. I'm sure that in the winter, it might get a bit cold and you'll probably need a bit thicker socks, but that can be dealt with. But it does also mean that it's not going to retain too much water, especially in this upper, which is super flimsy and super thin, as you can see here in the front. Super breathable, super lightweight, and there isn't much padding around the tongue either. So it's not going to hold too much of that water weight, which you can find in other shoes. So you know that it's still going to be lightweight and responsive all through the winter months to help you through your training. I think what I love so much about the Evo SL is its ability to handle all paces, as well as its lack of carbon plates. I think it's something that we don't see enough of at the moment in the running industry. Other shoes that I can think of which are similar to this is the New Balance Rebel V4. Not the V5. I think the V5 isn't as good at up-tempo paces as the V4. The Asics Noosa Tri 15 and 16. The Hoka Mach 6 is also a great option. I think I personally really enjoy doing sessions in shoes which I don't feel like I'm getting too much of like a mechanical advantage in. And I think the Evo SL is a perfect example of that kind of shoe where you get a really nice foam and a really good feel with the shoe, lightweight. It doesn't feel like it's holding you back at all, but it also doesn't feel like you're getting an unfair advantage in the shoe. Throughout my experience in the shoe, I think my perception of what the shoe can do has really changed. I think when I first got the shoe, I thought that I'd be reaching for it on the days after I'd done a big session when my legs need a bit more cushioning, a bit more protection from the impact. But I definitely haven't been doing that recently. I've changed now and I'm reaching for it more during sessions. So during a day, like I said, where I've got intervals, a bit of variation of paces. And I think it's also an amazing do-it-all shoe. So whenever I go on holiday, I always take my Evo SLs with me. If you've got limited luggage space and you need a shoe shoe which can fit in your carry-on bag, or you can wear it on the plane with you. It's great for walking around, running in, doing interval sessions in. It's really a great do-it-all shoe, and it feels comfortable in all those scenarios. I think another reason why I've probably reached for this shoe a bit less for the recovery runs when my legs are feeling a bit more tired is because of the geometry of the shoe. A lot of the shoe is based off of Adidas's top of the line race day shoes, and it means that the geometry is a bit more aggressive, a bit more tailored for faster running. And when I do a recovery run, I don't necessarily want a shoe which is going to want me to go faster. And I definitely feel like the Evo SL is a shoe which wants me to run faster and wants me to push the paces a bit more. But overall, I have to say I have really enjoyed running in the Evo SL. And so now let's talk about how the shoe has held up over the last few months while I've been running in it. At this point now, I've probably done about somewhere between 300 and 400 kilometers in the shoe, and I am really impressed with how the shoe has held up. Because the midsole is 100% Lightstrike Pro, I kind of expected it not to last too long. You don't really expect a super shoe to last, a few hundred kilometers. After I'd say probably about 100 to 200 kilometers, a super shoe kind of starts to lose its bounce. And while this isn't a super shoe, it does use super shoe technology. And the midsole I've found has actually held up really well. I'm really impressed with it. Although I'm probably not getting quite the same amount of bounce as I did at the start, it's still definitely super comfortable and super enjoyable of a ride. I could definitely see myself putting in another 200, 300 kilometers in this shoe, getting up to 500 to 600 kilometers in total, and not really struggling with the longevity of the shoe, especially considering that the outsole still has such minimal wear to it. Even though I've been running on a mixture of both trails and tarmac, I've really been putting this shoe to the test as much as I can. I was a bit concerned for the amount of midsole foam that was exposed, especially in the back here. Especially when I was running on the trails, I thought that it might get punctured and worn down quite a lot. But I really haven't seen much wear in the back section of the midsole. I mean, I am more of a forefoot runner, but even then, the forefoot of the shoe is really holding up really well. You can still even see the pattern of the outsole. Visually, the midsole has some small amount of creasing on the shoe, but considering that I've done about 300 kilometers in the shoe, I am not surprised at all, and I've definitely seen midsoles which have far more creasing in it. The upper of the adidas Evo SL has really held out extremely well. I mean, in the white version that I've put my kilometers in, it's definitely stained quite a lot. Now a bit more grey than it was at the start, but it hasn't stretched at all. It still feels very roomy and very comfortable. I would just say that the white upper is quite difficult to clean, but I'm sure that comes with any other white shoe that you might have. So if you were to get a colorway of the Evo SL coming into these winter months, I would definitely recommend getting the black one, and just to keep your shoes looking nice and clean. But overall, I have to say that the Evo SL has held up extremely well over the last 300 to 400 kilometers that I've run on them, and I definitely see them being able to withstand many more kilometers running them in the future. And into the final section of the video now, would I recommend you to get the Evo SL even now, considering that it's been out for nearly a year? I would say definitely yes. It's such a versatile shoe, and it's just so enjoyable to run in, especially considering the price point of €150, $150, depending on where you are in the world. It's just one of the best options out there in terms of bang for your buck, and a shoe which can do it all. Fast paces, slow paces, super comfortable, super lightweight, and as I've mentioned, quite durable as well, especially considering super foam technology that you have in the shoe. This was my honest review on the Evo SL after having put 300 kilometers in the shoe. If you have any questions, make sure to put them down below in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys and see what you have to say about the Evo SLs, whether you enjoyed them as much as I did, what you think about them. I'm going to link up to the New Balance Rebel V4, since I mentioned it earlier on in the video. Enjoy your ride today, enjoy your run, go beyond your limits, and I'll see you guys in the next one.